Peter Doocy, the White House correspondent for Fox News, always asks the dumbest questions during the press briefing, and today was no different.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karine. President Biden is the oldest president in U.S. history. Why does White House staff treat him like a baby?
No one treats the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, like a baby.
So there's this book that says
That's ridiculous.
When staff
That's a ridiculous claim.
What sounded like a call for regime change in Russia, the president, quote, rather than owning his failure, he fumed to friends about how he was treated like a toddler. Was John Kennedy ever babied like that?
So look, I'll say this. There's going to be always a range of books that are about every administration, as you know, that's going to have a variety of claims. That is not unusual. That happens all the time. And we're not going to litigate those here. That's something that we're not going to speak to. There is one thing that I do want to, because I think I was asked this question last week by one of your colleagues about this particular excerpt that they were referring to. And so I'll say this, we did see the excerpt, the context of the excerpt, and it seemed to be making the opposite overall point about how the value of his experience and wisdom resulted in rallying the free world against authoritarianism, which is important. We have seen this, you all have seen this, and passage of the most historic agenda in recent history in his handling of foreign policy, like rallying the world around Ukraine, as you just heard from our national security advisor, who laid out in really good questions that your colleagues asked about how the president is moving forward, about Ukraine, about kind of leading into these conversations that he's going to be having at the G20.
Why do you think he's always asking questions that simply are so vile, disgusting, pathetic, infantile? Because he's trying to get views. Fox News is not a serious place. We need to kind of start at that ground level to get an understanding of why exactly Peter Doocy is doing what he's doing here. One of the reasons why this clip is really standing out today is because for 4 years, if not longer than that, in the run-up to Donald Trump's presidential tenure, Fox News supported that huge infant. The infant that threw ketchup when he didn't get his way, who had to have pictures with his daily briefings, and when his generals would come in and try to convey these complex issues taking place in parts of the world, Donald Trump needed photos. He needed pictures because Donald Trump is a huge baby. And I wanted to ask you for a little comment fun. What do you think was Donald Trump's biggest infant moment in the White House during his term? Doocy here is also projecting because he himself is a huge infant. Fox News is the home to Doocy's father. The reason Doocy is in the position he is in is because of nepotism. So for Doocy to sit there and pretty much call President Joe Biden a baby is completely pathetic. And Doocy should be ashamed of himself, but he isn't, because he is a sociopath who probably can't feel shame. It's also pretty ironic that he's calling Joe Biden an infant, because he himself has to be babied every day in these press briefings by the press secretary. I mean, whenever she calls on him, she has to kind of go into her, okay, Mr. Doocy, right? Like, okay, your question is it's a little insane, but let's address it, because you're a preschooler surrounded by professionals who, really that's one of the reasons why Doocy is doing this again, is because he and Fox News, they don't care about journalism. They don't care about the truth. They want the clicks. They want the views. They're just a huge clickbait organization. So Doocy here just continuing that. He also, I think, wants to be in the primetime slot where Tucker Carlson used to be, which is now hosted by Jesse Waters. And we all know that both of those guys got that position by racing to the bottom, right? Because that's what Fox News is. It's just one big race to say the craziest thing. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's all about getting those clicks. So it's pretty clear here that Doocy got his job as a White House correspondent because his father's position. He himself asks infantile questions on a day-to-day basis. He should be ashamed of himself, but he isn't because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the other professionals in the room. He doesn't care about the country. He doesn't care about the White House and its the power it has to better the lives of people. No, he wants the clicks. He wants the views. So Peter Doocy, on his race to the bottom, just completely embarrassing himself and the network he works for.